And James Longman joins me live now from Kyiv with more on this. James, Russia bombarded Chernihiv overnight as well, hours after claiming that it would scale back its military operations there. Now, a Ukrainian official says several missiles were shot down over Kyiv as well. So what's the latest on the fighting and these guarantees from Russia that don't seem to be coming true?
Yeah, Diane, well, all night we heard the bombardments here in the distance. We actually only arrived in Kyiv yesterday, and the team that was already here said actually it's some of the loudest that they've heard for the last 5 or 6 days. So that coincides with this announcement by Russia that they're pulling back. This morning, we got up thinking that we need to go and investigate, so we went, as you saw there, closer to the suburbs of Kyiv towards Irpin, which has been a town really had some of the kind of most severe fighting since the beginning of this war, and that is where the bombardments continue. And actually, as I speak to you now, I can hear it ongoing in the distance. They've chosen this day to try to get people out. The Ukrainians feel that it's safe enough. I think that's the qualification you need in a place like this. Safety is relative. Safe enough to try to get people out. And under the bombardments, we were watching these ambulances speed back and forth the 5 kilometers it took to get to where we were into Irpin to get people out. And it seems to be that the Russians, whilst they may have withdrawn their troops from towns like Irpin, it might have given the opportunity now to bombard at will, indiscriminately, on civilian neighborhoods, as we know the Russians do. So that looks to be what is happening. We've heard the United States say now that, that there might be a redeployment of Russian troops towards the east of this country, but it doesn't mean the bombardments will stop. And indeed, it looks like perhaps they might even carry on in an effort to punish these parts of the country, taking out their fury on an area they couldn't occupy as they would have liked to. I think there's a sense really that Russia expected to arrive in places like Irpin and be welcomed as liberators, and that hasn't happened. But also strategically to pin the Ukrainian military down so that they can concentrate their forces on the east. Look, we look to be entering a new, very bloody stage of this conflict, but the idea that Russia somehow has abandoned attacking the rest of Ukraine, that's absolutely not the case.
And James, the State Department is warning that Russian authorities, quote, may single out and detain U.S. citizens in both Russia and Ukraine. Why this new concern?
Well, it might be that the Americans have got new information. I have to say that the threat there has been there, has continued since the beginning. I mean, we spent a month in Moscow and we were minded constantly of the possibility of us being singled out. Really, the Russians don't need a reason to go after a foreigner if they want to. We've seen a number of foreigners arrested on trumped-up charges, their families saying that you know, they are completely innocent. We've had Paul Whelan, Trevor Reed, and now, of course, Brittany Griner, who's been arrested on these narcotics charges. So there's every chance that they could arrest at will any American or any other person from a country which Russia now deems an enemy. I should say you get the sense when you're in Russia that there's possibly a disconnect between the Kremlin and maybe the State Department. The State Department in Russia wants to continue a relationship with the rest of the world. The Kremlin seems not to be too bothered. So it depends who's winning the argument on that day. Diane? All
right, James Longman for us from Kyiv. James, thank you. Stay safe.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.